Hope you don't mind, Ranty. Hey? What's that? Shout out to Sheeps and Neeps Cancer Cure Fund. What the hell is that? What is that? I've never heard of that. What is it? Who has cancer? Who actually has cancer? Sheeps has cancer. Really? Hang on, let me read this. There is a semi-circumferential tumour in the lower third of the rectum, which measures 5 centimetres in distance. Right, okay. Wow, okay. Well, sorry to hear that, Des. You know, we've never seen eye to eye, really. But I hope you pull through. Hope you you managed to get things sorted. When was it? 27 days ago. Right, £444 raised so far. Okay, right. Well, this is the first I've heard of this, but I will make a point of mentioning it today on Nathan's show. At the end of the day, we're all flat earthers, regardless of whether we actually get along with each other or not. And it's very sad to see someone that's been as active as him in this situation. So if I can, I will make sure that he gets a big shout out from me. So yeah, I will. I'll put that to Nathan this morning. It's weird. I've never heard that before. I mean, I don't follow him. You know, I mean, I don't follow his stuff. I just know that, you know, the last 3 or 4 times that we've spoken, you know, we've ended up arguing with each other, and I think that's probably why I haven't really, you know, followed his stuff. And to be fair, the only reason we argued was because he attacked me, you know, for whatever reason. I don't know why. I think he just thinks that the circle of people that I'm in with isn't his idea of how flat Earth should be done. He thinks people should do things individually, but I think flat Earth should be brought out collectively. I think individually we make a very small noise and we're easy to be picked off. Collectively, for whatever, you know, whether or not you believe some of the people involved may be actors or agents or whatever, but collectively, we can make a bigger noise. That's what I believe. I genuinely believe that. Now, I have no problem at all aligning myself with the likes of Globebusters, with the likes of Mark Sargent, Patricia Steer, all of them, because essentially they are the biggest channels. They, for whether, you know, whether you like how they got there, whether you suspect them as being agents, whether you suspect them for doing this, that, and the other, they are still the biggest draws on flat Earth. And you know, marginalizing them and infighting and saying this, that, and the other about them isn't really working. And I'm working behind the scenes to bring everybody together on Skype. I do have a group that I've set up, and there are a few of those people that I've just mentioned that are actually in this group, who we are actively working together now to try and promote each other and bring flat Earth to the masses even more so over the next year. And this is something that we need. We need cohesion. We need strength in numbers, and we don't need to be divided yet. As Belu says, divide and conquer is the biggest threat. It is. Absolutely, it is the biggest threat. And, you know, people that are divisive, like, I do like Pete Shea, I'll be honest. I like Pete Shea. I like him as a human being. But his insistence that everybody's agents, whether it's true or not, it doesn't help the cause. It really doesn't. What will come out in the wash will come out in the wash in the end. But whilst you've got people that are actively being sought out by the media and can actively raise awareness of flat Earth, we shouldn't be marginalizing those people. We should be working with them, because I am never going to get on the television. I'm never going to get in the paper, but these guys already are. So it seems pointless to make accusations against them. I'd rather work with them. And I tell you what, speaking with them behind the scenes, it is an eye opener, because you realize that, you know, what you've heard about and what the people have talked about them and said and things like this, it's not the case. It really isn't the case. They're just genuine people, just like me, just like you, just, you know, they've got into flat Earth in a certain way, and for whatever reason, they're now more popular than almost everybody else, right? So be it. Okay. Some people say, well, you know, they're making money out of flat Earth. Well, I'll tell you what, look at it another way. If somebody devotes their life to flat Earth, right, essentially it is their job, right? How are they going to pay the bills, get around, put fuel in the car, feed themselves, feed the family, pay the mortgage, any of that? How are they going to do that if they are devoting their life to providing you with content and to providing flat Earth with exposure? I don't see a problem with them making a living from doing something that is beneficial to everybody that listens to their work, right? I don't find that at all in the slightest. And for what it's worth, every Ball Earth channel, every single one of them, all those guys screaming that flat Earth is this and flat Earth is that, and they're all in it for the money, every single one of those channels is monetized, right? Every one of them has the super chats, every one of them has the PayPals, every one of them has it all going off, and it's all off the back of flat Earthers, right? Flat Earth didn't exist, their channel wouldn't exist. Flat Earthers didn't put content out, they wouldn't have content to talk about. They wouldn't have a channel. So essentially they are making money off flat Earth themselves. You know, a lot of the people in the chat now, some of you do content, some of you don't, and some of you guys will just rather listen or watch the content. So, you know, you'll have someone that you follow and you want to click the video and you want to watch the work that they've done, and you have a feeling of euphoria at the end of the video and you feel a little bit better for yourself, you know, for a bit more knowledge. Now, that would never have happened if that person hadn't have gone out and done the research and put a video together and provided it to you so that you could have that euphoric moment, right? So in a sense, these flat earthers that are going out and doing this stuff are working for you. They work for you. You work for them. If you want to work for them, I say you work for them. If you want to help them, you can. If not, you can watch the stuff for free. But it's not affecting you. You get the euphoric moment day after day. It's other people that are doing the work. You just get to sit back and enjoy it. So I wouldn't call anybody that devotes a lot of time to flat Earth to be shills or agents or disinformate agents. There are some, yeah, okay, like the title here, the Limitless Channel, Awake Souls. You know, I have my doubts seriously about their intentions on flat Earth. You know, but and they're not making any friends. Let's be honest, they are a law to themselves. They might have a few followers, devoted followers, but essentially they are ostracized from the community through their own way they've handled their own channel and their beliefs and the way they've gone about attacking other people. And they're never going to get any traction. Nobody's going to really listen to their stuff because nobody cares about them. Nobody has an interest in what they say because of the way they have been, right? Nobody does. And then, you know, you look at all the channels that are ostracized, you know, and you look at Dell in his shed, right? And he, you know, he's pretty much ostracized. He doesn't have that many other channels that support him because of the way he attacks other flat earthers and because of the way he assumes that his way is the only way to do this kind of getting the word out, which is to beat his chest on the side of the street and pick someone and have a chat with them. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, okay, so you get into 2 people or 3 people every week, though. Nice one. Yeah, we see, like Mark Sargent, Patricia Steer, they're getting to thousands every week. But, you know, who am I to say, Del, end of the day? Because you're always right, aren't you, my son? Nobody else can have a way of doing something. But I look at it a different way. My type of research is different to somebody else's. Sandra, for instance, her way of research is to provide a very serene image of Blackpool, the skyline, sunsets, Isle of Man, you know, very nice with some nice music. It's very peaceful. You can sit back and listen to it all day, right? That's Sandra's approach. My approach is getting down and dirty and getting into the sand and, you know, getting wet and, you know, running up and down some steps to get some elevation and heights, and then doing a bit of research and finding out, you know, what was I actually seeing at that time? You know, what was giving me, why was I able to see so much of the boat, less of the boat, what was causing the problems, you know? So that's my type of research. We're both flat earthers, but we have our own way of doing it. We're not in competition with each other, and we don't dislike each other. We just have different ways of doing it. But for somebody like Del or Antonius or the Limitless channel to be saying that the way we do our research isn't how it should be done this way. Yeah. No. We all have our own way of doing it. And everybody enjoys our, you know, everyone's got the favorite. And, you know, division will kill us in the end. That's what will kill the movement. So that's not going to happen with me. And I am reaching out to the bigger channels because I want them to pull together. That's what I want. I want them to pull together. They have an awful lot of subscribers and they have a lot of reach. But if they start working together, whew, can you imagine if they all started working together instead of being their own channels? Can you imagine if they all work together? We all work together. We'll promote everybody. Can you imagine that? Imagine how big we could get this. So stop the infighting, people. Stop the arguments. You know, if the trolls come after us, we'll go back after them. Anyway, I'm going to do the appeal for Sheeps and Neeps again. If anybody's just joined now, apparently Sheeps and Neeps has cancer. I didn't understand. I wasn't aware of that. But he has a GoFundMe. Well, is it a GoFundMe? No, it's just a deposit for his PayPal. But essentially, he does have he has cancer. So I'll be doing a shout out for support on Nathan's show later, and hopefully we'll get a few more people made aware of this. And I'll be honest with you, just going back to what I was saying about being a lone wolf in this debate kind of thing. Del is a lone wolf, and I have to say, I don't mean this in any kind of negative way or a bad way as such, but it's just to prove the point. £444 he's collected in 27 days. So essentially in 4 weeks he's collected just a little over £400. Now, the guy has cancer, right? The guy has cancer and he's going to need money to help him through this, food, you know, just living, you know, just to get through it. Now, being a lone wolf and being divisive, he hasn't had the support, or the you know, people like myself haven't even been aware that he's had cancer, and it's been public knowledge for at least 4 weeks. And this is what I'm talking about with unity. If he was more united, if he was more with us, you know, with being united in this movement, we could have spoken about this, and I will be talking about it to the bigger channels as well, right? So whether or not they promote him, I don't know, but I will tell every single one of them, right? And I will link them to his PayPal. But being a divisive person, right, he hasn't had the exposure, and he has got in my opinion, a very small amount for such a serious illness, right? And he does do a lot of the work. You know, he does do his own stuff. He does his live streams, and he was doing it every week. So he had his own way of bringing the movement forward, but he was on his own. So that's just my point right here. I feel if he'd been with us guys and he'd been able to have a massive shout out from everybody, he could have 10, 15 times that amount. People would have been happy to have helped the guy out. But as I say, not that many people are really caring right now. But hand on my heart, I don't have any animosity to the guy. You know, so I have no problem in making sure that at least this message will get out now, because I'm sure that hardly anybody knows about this.